Hey everybody, it's Rachel Storlie. I'm back here at Radical Heart Farms today, and I am walking through various levels of snow on my way to the beautiful sheep. Hello, good morning everybody. And as you can see, their paddock is a little different now, and I believe they still have their gentleman collar here. And I don't know if it's this. Are you the gentleman caller? You may be. So we're doing really well out here despite the snow. Obviously their coats give them a lot of protection. And Heidi has assured us that they are just fine outside as long as it's not really sleety and nasty. And we're certainly having a beautiful wintry day here. We are in Fillmore County, just adjacent to Houston County, where Spring Grove and Giants of the Earth Heritage Center is located. And there's the lovely little homestead cottage where Heidi and her partner live. And here's the end of our panorama. So let's just say thank you one more time to Heidi and Radical Heart Farms and her beautiful flock. And it's been really fun getting to know them. And remember, she is very happy to welcome you to her property and take a farm tour at any time of the year. Just give her some advance notice. All right, bye sheep. Bye-bye. Hey friends, it's Rachel again, and I am here at my home. I've set up a cutting board, I've sanitized it, and what I'm gonna do now is take these freshly cured, I should say, Pinnekjøtt ribs out of the tray that my friend Heidi has put them into for transfer from her farm to here. Here they are, and I am noticing that gorgeous dark chocolatey rich color. And she said that I would be pretty impressed by the curing process and how it all turned out. And I am saying, wow, this is spectacular, isn't it? Okay. All right. I know Heidi was curious to know what I thought about the smell. So here's my initial reaction. Wow. She's right. It's quite nutty, very complex. It's a very deep, dark, rich, almost like musky sort of odor. But there's something so clean about it too. It's very interesting. I've never cured meat before, but this smells very, very unique. The next thing we need to do is take a knife and we need to cut down through the middle of each rib. So I'm gonna work on that. If the footage turns out all right, maybe I'll post it in this video as a time lapse. But otherwise, just know that that's the next part of the process. We need to cut each rib down through the middle of the meat. And then we are going to soak it for 16 to 24 hours in tepid water. So I've got my big water bowl ready for it. All right, I'm going to attempt to cut the Pinnekjøtt down through each section in between the ribs. It's a little tough right here, but maybe if I am a little rough with it, it'll just pop open or not. So I'm gonna keep working on this. Got through something here. I think I need to find this line right here. There. Here we go. And into the water I will drop it. All right, I'm back, folks. I found a serrated knife, albeit you're probably laughing at me because it's a bread knife. I know, I don't know. I don't do this type of thing very often, so I don't have the right tools, but we're gonna do this. between these two knives and some assistance from my husband David, we got the job done. It maybe wasn't the prettiest, and do I have a sore hand? Yes. But we've got all of the Pinnekjøtt ribs separated, cut through the bone, and now they are relaxing and chilling in a nice bowl of tepid water, which I will cover and keep on our front porch. And we will come and check back on it when we're gonna cook our New Year's Eve extravaganza. So I live in a really old house. This is a 1896 Victorian house. Luckily there's a lot of draft. Only for this situation is that lucky. And I've decided to store my dried ribs near some good company, some Boda boxes that we have around for the holidays. So we're gonna leave it here and let that draft from the door, keep it a little cooler than the rest of the house, and check back in about 16 hours when we decide to make the Pinnekjøtt for New Year's Eve. All right. Who knows what this is? Some people love them, some people hate them. We actually tried growing them in our garden over the last couple of years and had some success. They did not turn out as large as these mammoths from Canada, but you are correct if you were thinking it's rutabaga. And interestingly, in Norway, on the side of Pinnekjøtt, at the traditional Christmas meal, which we're making into a New Year's Eve meal, so we had that extra curing time. Interestingly, they call this swedes or Kålrabi. And to my knowledge, Kålrabi is not rutabaga, but I could be wrong. I don't know, maybe some people use it interchangeably as a term.
According to DIY Network, the root vegetable rutabaga is not a turnip but a close relative in the brassica, or mustard, family of plants, which also includes cabbages, broccoli, cauliflower and Brussels sprouts. The purple-shouldered rutabaga is sometimes described as a cross between a turnip and a cabbage.
But as you know, if you don't grow these in your own garden, they're covered with a protective layer of wax so that they don't go bad in the grocery store. So we just have to start by removing that wax. I'm going to use a potato peeler and hope that it works pretty well. And be very careful. I'm going to go away from myself, of course. And usually we feed scraps of anything in our house to our chickens, but because this is covered in wax, they will not be eating this as a little treat. So sorry, chickies. But we'll continue this until I've got two giant rutabagas ready for cutting. It is done, and here is our peeled, as the Norwegians call it, kålrabi, and we call it rutabaga, so go figure. But anyway, now that the waxy edge has been taken off everything, we are going to be cutting it into a smaller unit, obviously, and if you've ever cut one of these, it is a little bit dangerous, so I just want to remind you of that. Ugh. I'm gonna get my knife out of here carefully, and then I'm going to turn it up here instead. Okay, now we're getting somewhere. There we go. All right, not a perfect cut, but it doesn't really matter because this is gonna be boiled. And you know what happens when things boil, they can just get mushed up. The name of this side dish is Kålrabistappe, and that uses the A with the circle above it. Usually it's a mash of rutabaga, small potatoes, and carrot. So we're going to just cut it into these smallish pieces so that it boils at about the same rate as a nice halved carrot. And I'm going to go one step further even and do this, make some kind of large rectangles, if you will. We're going to do this with two giant rutabagas for our Kålrabistappe. And when we're done with that, we're going to throw them into a pot of water and bring it to a boil with those carrots and potatoes. So easy. See, you can do this at home too. And your grandma and grandpa would be so proud of you for using rutabaga. All right, I've got my kohlrabi cut up. I'm gonna add it to my big pan. This is my favorite pan. It's my Le Creuset, and it is large, and I can do it over 2 of my burners at the same time. So we're gonna fill this thing up, and I'll keep working on this and check back in with you soon. Here's my huge pot, and it's filled with rutabaga and carrots. And some of you may be thinking, well, what is the ratio? Like, now I've got to add my potatoes, and what is the ratio? Because there's some conflicting information out there. So I'm just going to tell you, because the rutabaga that I found at the store were so big, I am using an entire bag of carrots. And that may be a little overboard. Some of the Norwegians may, you know, bite their thumb at me and say that's too much, but I just like it because it gives a really rich color, which the rutabaga doesn't inherently have. And as a result, I'm only going to add about 7 of these baby potatoes. As you can see, according to my hand, they're not that big, and that is because I want a little bit of that texture to be softened and fluffered up, and not too much. If you make the Kålrabistappe too dense with potato, it's going to change the starch level, and that is not something that is desirable. You want it to be a little bit more just fluffy and light of a flavored side dish in consistency. So that's it. And there you have it. Now, those of you who know science and maybe like fluid dynamics, engineering stuff better than I do, you may very shortly be laughing at me here, but I'm going to leave the layering as is. I have the rutabaga all at the bottom, and then I layered the carrots on top of that, and finally the baby potatoes. And I don't know, in my heart of hearts, in my mind, I just feel like that might be a good idea, because I believe that they're layered from bottom to top in density, and maybe as they boil, the rutabaga will get a little softer, a little faster than the carrots, and the carrots will be getting a little softer, a little faster than the potatoes, and maybe somehow all the timing is going to work out so that they have the same sort of consistency and cooked doneness level. We'll see what happens. You know, it's just like this entire trial process is exactly that. We're experimenting and trying to figure out how to do this the best way for next time. So thank you, and continue watching this video. Wait, I forgot to tell you, look at this. My scraps that don't have wax covering them are gonna go out to the chickens. So you get to meet my chickens now. All right, we are going to go out and meet my chickens and give them some scraps, some yummy scraps from our Kålrabistappe. And you may be thinking, why is she wearing wooden clogs? And I say, why not? It's Romjul. Why not wear them with my pajamas? Because who's not wearing their pajamas in these bizarre days of Romjul, the days between Christmas and New Year's, where sense of time and purpose is suspicious. I don't even know what day it is. I think tomorrow is New Year's Eve. Yes, it is. That's why I'm getting ready. So anyway, here is our chicken house. And we put this nice covering on the outside so that the chickies stay a little warmer. It's 25 degrees today in Spring Grove. Hello, ladies. We have 5 chickens. And if I can get in here, here they are. Hi, girls. Are you staying warm and cozy today? Yes. It's almost New Year's Eve, and I'm making a special treat, so you get to have good snacks today. Yeah? I'm coming in. Watch out. All right, little ladies, you ready? Let's see what's going on here. I've got scraps of red potato and carrot. Come on over and eat. We've got a nice elevator here, a grain elevator in town, where we buy chicken feed, and it's a special blend that has cracked corn. And we also have been feeding our chickens our frozen and unfrozen pumpkins left over from Halloween. They really like those, and squash. And over there, we also have their water pail, and we have been heating it up every once in a while. And the hanging one over there is plug-in, so it's not supposed to let the water freeze. So their coop is back there. They've got a little door, and they go up there and get into their nest and roost, or go up there and lay their eggs. And the door actually closes. There's a sensor outside on the roof of this coop that senses when it's getting dark and when it's getting light, so it'll close automatically. So anyway, I think we have scored here with our yummy orange foods. I think everybody's enjoying this a lot. So here's your little diversion from our cooking class. Yeah, you get right in there. Sheep and chickens, oh my, what a wonderful life. Say bye, girls. Bye-bye. Okay, take two. See if I can do this a little better. I'm gonna put this right here. We're gonna pour very gently this time. And like I said, I'm just gonna kind of cover the top layer. And I haven't done a successful job really, so that's where I'm gonna stick my washed hands down in here and try to even the top off. This is gonna go all over my stove, and just know that I'm aware of that, and I will deal with those consequences later. We are on high, using all portions of this burner. Stay right here for more fun. Okay, our Kålrabistappe ingredients are boiling together in harmony. It's getting real in here, folks. The kitchen is smelling so good. It's a very earthy scent when these three things mingle in the pot, and they are going to complement our Pinnekjøtt so beautifully, and that's why Norwegians love these two dishes together. I'm going to check for doneness with a fork and decide if we are at a place where we should stop this boiling water or not. Okay, let's do the carrot test. Straight through there. I think that's pretty good. Sorry, I just clouded up my whole camera, didn't I? Now I'm going in through oh, that was a nice piece of rutabaga, and I got straight through there. Finally, yes, our potatoes. Ooh, I think we may be ready, folks. I did go visit the chickens during this time, so I can't say for certain how long this has been boiling, but I think it's ready. I'm gonna go through this big fat piece right here. Well, it is time to turn off the stovetop and just let this kind of simmer. Pretty soon I'll be draining off the water and letting it stand for about 3 minutes to dry off the vegetables just a little bit. And then we're going to mash things up with cream and butter and a little bit of salt. And you'll see how to do that, and then you can do it yourselves as well. It's going to be delicious. And by the way, today is Thursday, it's the 30th, and I'm making the Kålrabistappe. I'm making it a day in advance. And part of the method to my madness is this. All of that water that this has been boiling in is fortified now with these vegetables. And then when I cook the pinnekjøtt tomorrow on the birch branches, I can recycle this broth and cook the pinnekjøtt with it. And I think that's kind of a nice little additional flavor enhancer that brings everything together in a way that they don't necessarily tell you about in the recipes. So we'll see if we like that. I personally think it's going to be a really nice way to tie the meal all together. All right, here I am in the kitchen, and it's a messy kitchen, so don't judge, okay? But my work surface is impeccably clean, and I just sanitized it. So I am putting this colander into this large Le Creuset container, and I'm going to get out my, this is hilarious, my chicken, and I need one more. You know what, I'll just use a towel to protect my hands from this hot, hot, hot stuff. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna try to retain this liquid. So I'm pouring all of my vegetables into this strainer. Woo, there they start going. I'm gonna leave some of the liquid in the pan actually. And as you can see now, we've got a lot of liquid right here. And just a little bit of veggie. So this is the liquid that I'll be using tomorrow for our pinnekjøtt. After I layer the birch branches and fill them up to the top with water, it'll be this water, our fortified vegetable water. And we're back, and it's time to mash. But first, we need to add some other ingredients. So I have heavy cream here, and I'm gonna pour that in here. I really have no idea how much to use, so I'm just gonna start with a whole cup, okay? Now, after that, we've got our butter. This is an entire stick of butter. And then we're gonna also add some salt and pepper. And this is to taste, but I lightly seasoned with salt during the boiling process, so I know that based on the quantity in this pot that we can use a decent amount of salt right now. Pepper, pretty coarsely ground. You don't have to do it that way. I just like to actually see and taste and even sometimes feel the pepper as I'm eating mushy things. So look at how beautiful that is. And now, because I can't find my blender attachment, I'm gonna actually do this by hand the old-fashioned way. So let's do a review. What's in our Kålrabistappe? Well, it is carrots, it is rutabaga, and it is potatoes. Whew. That is a process. What a great workout. I think I've gotten all of my steps and all of my upper body strength exercises in for the day. Okay, so here, look at this beautiful Kålrabistappe, and this is why I like to put extra carrots in, because the color is so much more vibrant. So, what are we missing? A dash of nutmeg. Now, I've read various accounts. Some people don't like this added to the Kålrabistappe. I think it's amazing, and I'm just gonna put in a little dash like this. I don't know, is a dash as big as a pinch? I'm not sure, maybe a pinch. And then we're gonna keep mushing. Now, if you find that yours is too thick, or if by the time you serve it, it's too thick, just add some of the liquid from your pinnekjøtt into this and stir it up again, and it's lovely. We will be doing that tomorrow since I'm making this a day in advance. And tomorrow, a little bit of that pinnekjøtt gravy will go into this and then bring that flavor full circle. So let's get in here and try it out. I have my taste tester here. You won't be able to see him, but I'm gonna put it right into your mouth. What do you think, David?
It's wonderful.
Wonderful! All right, woo! Here's our big pot of Kålrabistappe. Thanks for joining me in the kitchen today, and tomorrow come back because we're gonna be making our Pinnekjøtt on birch sticks. All right, that's all for tonight. Ha det bra!